Greetings from wonderful Arizona on this beautiful, joyous summer solstice day, the lightest day of the year in our northern hemisphere. Much light has been pouring into the planet, and it has been intensifying. And I would like to share an update on what's happening on the planet, some of my experiences and what I've been through, and some of what we can expect in the days ahead. I have not been doing my videos for a while, and I have been going through many personal transformations, some of them energetics, some of them physical, and some of them emotional. And my sense is all of you, and some of you I've been speaking to, have been going through some of the same things, because collectively, as humanity goes through this upgrade, we are all experiencing this clearing out of the old. There are many cycles that have ended. Some are 7-year cycles that started in 2017. And there have been many changes in our personal lives and around the planet. There are larger cycles that started, and some of these energies have been repeating. One that we're in now started once in the Revolutionary War, one in the Civil War, and one in World War II. One or two, sorry, I can't remember. But it doesn't mean that we're going into a war, but in a sense it does feel like a war, somewhat internally, with the old hanging on, because all of those junctures shifted humanity to the next level. It was not just war, it was about major transformation. In the last 7 months, or 7 years, since 2017, we've gone through COVID. We've gone through many changes collectively, many awakenings and many exposures of the old. And it has not only been in the outer world, but it has been in the internal world as well. I know for myself, I have lost a mother, a father, and just 3 months ago, my sister, my first sibling to pass. Those were all major milestones for me and put me into grief, and old grief, new grief. And the last one with my sister in March really was a catalyst and opened me up again, as painful as it was. Some of the shutting down I had done with all of the changes, wanting to be in control, feeling out of control with so many things, so many changes in my life and in all of your lives as well. Whether it be, it's not the same grocery store we used to go to, or our friendship circle, or our relationship cycles have shifted. When we shift internally, we go through a death and rebirth, and it has been necessary. I know for myself, so many things have stopped and are no longer there, and I went through this deep cycle of grieving, and one after another, whether it be aspects of my work, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a family situation, whether it be myself and facing patterns within my own self. So much has been going on for all of us, purposefully and with intention. Many say, when will this be over? It is not going to be over, it's going to be changing. And I'm going to address that in a moment, about the lightness that we can expect and the new that is coming in. But I feel first we have to address the process that we've been through and so much grief. I know I personally had been hanging on to a lot of grief, and my sister's passing opened so many layers up, not just for losing her, but the family lineage as I have known it, who I have been. When I was going through photos for her memorial, on the exact day 55 years ago, I found my graduation from nursing school. So having been a nurse for 55 years and feeling like that era of self-sacrifice, self-giving, getting outside of my own way has ended. And I'm sure many of you can relate, and I hope you make comments in the comment section on my YouTube channel so we can share this and we can start creating a community of where we have been and where we are going. Because there really is much hope. When I became aware of the time that we're in, it was 40 It was actually 50 years ago at the age of 25, and I'm now 75. So 50 years ago, I began this journey of knowing about this time that we're in, but not knowing how it would manifest, because many times on the planet, we've had a lot of Earth major changes, and we're going through that now. I'm watching it in nature, in my plants, in the animal kingdom. All of us are going through this right now, all of the kingdoms. But this time, it is more in a conscious way. And we are lighting up and becoming more conscious, and we are in labor pains of birthing that. So when you think about labor pains, I want you to reflect on what labor pains have you been in? What old energy patterns have you been letting go of? For me, one of them is fear. Fear, if I don't do it exactly the right way, someone will get harmed. Whether it was from being a nurse, whether it was for my son's birth and all of the issues that came out of that and that were there in him genetically, so many patterns of fear, of losing control. And for me, it's letting go of control. What can I manage? Because as a nurse, as a female, it's been about micromanaging everything to a fault. And I'm having to correct that. In January, I had a fall. I was out walking. We happen to live in a community where there are dirt roads. I went up an incline getting out of the way for a car, and I felt face planted so hard. Still dealing with some dizziness because I hit my head, my forehead, my nose, my mouth. I had an inch-long bruise and other parts of my body. And I'm still dealing with that. And one of the main messages to me from that fall was decrystallization. Fear of, will there be someone there for me? If something bad happens, will anyone be there? The irony that day when that happened, January 8th of this year, the people I was getting off the road for were these two guys, probably in their 30s. You know, their car was kind of duct taped together a little bit. They immediately came out. The gentleman, in very small of stature and very thin, and it was cool that day, believe it or not, in Arizona, took off his beautiful cobalt blue shirt and started wiping the blood off my face because my nose was bleeding so badly. And his cohort was there as well, and they were wanting to call the ambulance, wanting to do this and so forth, and just really wanting to support me. A few minutes later, the woman across the road, who I'd never met, was a neighbor. It was about 5-6 blocks from my home, came out and she said, "Are you okay?" Because she sees these guys hovering over me, and I'm like, yes. She came out, and you know, I was able to get myself up. She actually walked me home. I thank these two gentlemen that stopped. Never seen any of them again. They were there for me in a moment of need. I have to learn to trust that. And as we step into this future time, there's going to be more changes starting this summer and leading over the next few years. And we must all have faith. They were my angels that day. In the middle of it, I was, you know, they aren't the usual characters I would hang out with, but they were there for me, and they were exactly what I needed at the time. My soul was showing me that. So I want you all to reflect on what you've been through. What have been the energy patterns? What are you being asked to let go of? Because since January the 8th, I have continued in this, and of course then a couple months later my sister passed away, and I have been really having to face this letting go process. As some of you have noticed, I've not been posting. The end of last year I tried to get things going, and it just wasn't the right time. I did it a couple times. So now I'm hoping it is the time. I'm coming forward once more to teach, to share, and to inspire about the journey ahead and what we are facing and what we can do as co-creators, because we're all here during this time with a very special purpose. We are the light workers of this time for creation. Now, being a pioneer, right? That's another story. It's not always fun, but there's joy in it, and there's purpose, and there's discovery. And as that fall taught me, there were people there for me instantly out of nowhere. and I was cared for. My dear friend Joan suggested I talk about this and share this with you a few months ago, and I was like, there is no way. So finally today, I am ready to do that. And there is a new lightness that I have felt, and I hope you are beginning to as well. It's not all that, but I have found some new beginnings, some new joys, just in June, just in the last month. And we are at a time where the cycles are shifting very rapidly. But there is joy, there is purpose, and all of this is a new beginning. I created my new website last year and dedicated to Earth and humanity, and that still is my heart and my soul. And in the times ahead, I'm not sure when I will post again, but in the times ahead, I want to teach you about that. But today I want to remind you, be in nature wherever you are. You know, here in Arizona, we're starting to have our 100-degree weather, 106. Today it is gorgeous again. I'm outside, and I hope to post more from outside because it is in my garden and working with my plants. And every morning I come out and walk in the yard and walk in the sun. Every evening I say goodnight. It is what sustains me. So go out in nature. It is where you will ground yourself. It is where, that you'll feel inspired once more. So I want to share with you today this message of hope and inspiration. And I want you to start sharing on posting what I post and share below so that we can join together as community, because it is very much a time of coming back together as community for those of us that resonate together. So have faith, be strong, have courage, believe in yourself, talk to your soul, ask for guidance, be willing to go through the process. It is in the surrendering I have found, the letting go and feeling completely out of control, as I've shared a couple experiences of mine with you, that the soul has more of an open opportunity to come through us. So be present with yourself. I send you much light and much joy on this beautiful summer solstice day. Be well, and I'll be in touch.